This is the A631. We're just entering Maltby village, takes you through to Bawtry. As you can see at the moment, we're stuck behind a tipper truck. With the size of him, you can't see anything round and you can't see anything past him. So as you can see there, the best thing to do is to sit well back from him, and it opens up your view either side of him and you can see what's coming on. Very, very densely populated area. Busy road, busy commuter road as well. And for those with local knowledge will know that you're coming up to the main centre part of Maltby. If you were sat right behind this wagon now, you wouldn't see them with those parked cars. You sit right close up behind, you've got no view. So like I say, best thing is to do, sit back. You can't overtake him, he's going at the speed limit. Sit back and get the better view and you're safe and out of the way. Look at the road surface here. It's very, very bumpy, potholes, very slippy. If you were sat right behind him and he straddles a big pothole and you don't see it, you're going to end up riding straight into it. As we go up over the brow of the hill, you come into the centre of Maltby, where there's more pedestrian activity, there's pedestrian crossings. Again, get some cover on your brakes, keep a lookout, be aware of people wanting to jump out, to get onto buses, to get into shops. You've got dangers from both sides. There's nothing wrong with moving your bike around to have a look down the side of this heavy goods vehicle so you can see what's happening in the distance. You can see you coming up to the crossing. Obviously you can't overtake in the crossing. Again, there's no pressure, just sit behind him. Look at the heavy traffic coming the other way. If you tried to squeeze in between that gap, there'd be nowhere to go. And as we climb up the hill, we'll come into the main crossroads at Maltby itself. Usually very busy with traffic, can get quite impatient for people not wanting to queue in it. On a bike we can make a bit of progress if we can when the traffic comes to a stop. Down the outside, it's not a solid white line, we can use the hatch markings, no problems. There's a nice little gap on the near side of the white car. We're not going over the stop line, just going to sit at the side of him, have a quick look at him, make sure he's seen us, and then we can look at the actual junction itself. The lights are on green, quick left, check right, and we're accelerating away. All the traffic's then behind us. We can see quite clearly now what's happening in front of us. Look at the dry line in the centre of the road. That's where your best grip's going to be on this part of the road. Have a look into the distance and see what you can see. There's not many features to try and work out what's coming up for you. Speed limit change, check the mirrors, check around, increase your speed if it's safe to do so. For those with local knowledge, this is going to take us out of Maltby towards Maltby Colliery, Maltby Pit Stack. Very busy area with wagons coming in and out of Maltby Pit Top. So be aware from this point on, the road surface can be very, very hard to read and can catch you out. We're into the national speed limits. We're moving the bike about a little bit, get the best view that we can. If you look in the distance, the road goes around to the left, we'll try and get near the centre of the road if we can. If it's not safe to do so, don't sacrifice your safety to do that. There's the entrance to Maltby Colliery. Look at the road surface now. Especially when it's raining, this part of the road doesn't drain very well. It gets covered in water, which can stand quite deep, something to be aware of if it's raining. Again, look at the dry line, that's where your grip's going to be. Look at the potholes, look at the bouncing. It really, really is quite a nasty road to ride on at times. And we're going to come down into the bends which take you out towards Bawtry. This part of the road catches people out a lot. It's very flat and it's got some quite sharp bends, and when you come into it, you'll not, unless you know the road, you won't quite know how tight they are and where they go. So have a nice look if you can, watch for the cars coming out. And if you look into the distance, we can see the roads going to the left and then to the right, but when you get near the tree line, there is a really sharp bend which you can't actually read until you're virtually on top of it, and a lot of people will carry straight on into the fields. Have a look out, there's the bends coming up, so now we can see it. Nothing wrong with using the full width of the road if it's safe to do so. But there's the bend. Gradually tightens and then chucks you into a very tight left-hand bend and then a very tight right-hand bend. Again, nothing wrong, use the road. There's nothing coming the other way and there's no solid white lines. Use the full width if you want to do so, as long as you've got that good view forward. Coming up with slow-moving traffic, don't pile straight up behind them. Give them a chance to see you. You can, they may move over a little bit, make it easier for you to overtake them. There's a brow of the hill, but there's nothing coming. There's a towing in arrows, tell you there's a solid white line coming up. So we'll just take the one car, and then we'll just sit back from this one. There's solid white lines, we can't do anything. If I look up his near side, you can see the solid white lines maybe ending just as we go around this left-hand bend. There you go. Have a look up the near side, nothing coming, mirror check out, and we're overtaken and passed. Again, still in the national speed limit, we still move the bike around a little bit, get the best views we can through those bends. More towing in arrows, telling you that there's some more solid white lines coming up as we drop down towards Bawtry itself. The trees down here do cast some shadows over. You do get into the bright sunshine, back into the dark again, and then we're under the bridge and we're into Bawtry.